Hey, I'm Aja A, and welcome to Sunshine Haze. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have listed down in the description box, and if you like the video, please give me a little thumbs up. If you have any questions after the video is over, feel free to drop them down below. I try to respond to everyone. And if you all know people interested in astrology, numerology, tarot, or whatever I'm talking about on this channel, go on and send them this link. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And of course, thanks for tuning in and rocking with me. May this info help y'all live your best lives. Peace. Hey y'all, welcome back to SunshinehazeCo. I am Aja A. This is going to be the video on the first full moon of the year, and it is happening in the sign of Wild Leo. Before I get started, let's just drop a little bit of quick Astro 101, basic astrology knowledge. What is a full moon? When we have a full moon, that's when the moon is opposite the sun in the sky, and the side of the moon that is facing us is illuminated. Energetically speaking, when we have full moons, I like to look at that in regards to release, clarity, and illumination. I also consider the full moon period a time where those couple of weeks before we go into the next lunar cycle, I consider the full moon period a time for us to clear things out, to prepare for the new things that we are going to be coming into once we hit that new lunar cycle, okay? I mean, as I said, this full moon is in the sign of Leo, the lion, king of the jungle. So interesting. I always say interesting because Leo energy is wild to me. Actually, it will be interesting, but I think it'll be a good energy that we'll be dealing with for the full moon period, and to round out the rest of this lunar cycle, okay? This full moon is happening on Thursday, the 28th at 2:16. Yes, at 2:16 p.m. and that's Eastern Standard Time. The full moon is happening in 9 degrees, which I will talk about a little bit later on in the video. Excuse me. As I said earlier, this full moon is in Leo the lion. So if you know any Leos and you know anything about Leo energy, you know that Leo is considered a fun energy, a positive energy. It's associated with the sun. Leos are, like I said, they're superstars. They're the stars of the show. They are very confident. Leos are also very demanding, okay? Leos they are demanding. They're very opinionated and very proud as well. So we'll be dealing with a couple of things. Well, I don't even want to say dealing with. The type of energy, this is the energy that will be popping up for us over the next couple of weeks. The first note that I have here says superstar. Wait. Yo, I think maybe I should watch that movie after I record these videos. I've been like, I want to watch something, but I've been wanting to watch something from a while ago. Something nostalgic. This was yesterday. Moon was in Cancer. Moon is actually still in Cancer, I believe. But I have a superstar note here. So I said in the Capricorn new moon video that we're in a space where we're setting our boundaries. And to elaborate on that, during this lunar cycle, we're setting boundaries. And with the Leo full moon, what's happening is what we really want, that Leo popping ass energy, fun, positive energy in regards to our lives, in regards to the things that we're doing. What we really want is what we're setting boundaries for. And so with that superstar energy, there's also this note of, self-expression. Leos are the superstars because they are the stars of the show. They are the ones that come out on stage front and center and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how I did it. And this is me. Now clap for me. Give me applause, right? So we're in this space to where we're gaining clarity, illumination by way of this full moon and with this Leo energy into what our superstar moment is and to what our superstardom is. Not even moment. We're looking at, what if we were coming up onto the stage front and center and telling everybody, hey, look, this is me, this is what I'm doing, and I want you to clap for me because I like what I'm doing and what I'm doing makes me happy and I did a really good job here. That's what we're going to be focusing on. That's what's going to start popping up for you in your brains and your mental things. Messages may be coming in regards to that over these next couple of weeks. Keep in mind that we are starting a Mercury retrograde in a couple of days. So it's also a full moon. So I personally, for the full moons, I don't like to manifest new things. I do like to, like I said, clear things out so that I can prepare to actually start to manifest when the time is right. Okay. Don't get too impulsive with that fire energy that we'll be working with during this month. That is something to be mindful of during the next couple of weeks, because we are dealing with a Leo full moon. The energy that is swirling around for us does have a little bit of impulse in there. So just be mindful, especially when things or instances or conversations or even opportunities pop up by way of your superstardom, right? Just be mindful of not taking them too quick before you have all of your ducks in a row. Be mindful of not doing things without being knowledgeable about the moves that you're making. And I do understand that we're in a 5 year, so things are going to be popping up and be unexpected, but just because we're dealing with 5 energy doesn't mean that you can't try to be prepared. At least try to be prepared when you take these opportunities. So just be mindful of impulse, okay? But also keep in mind that what's coming in for us right now is that yearn, that little inkling to start moving ourselves into alignment with what we really want to do and what our best life looks like, okay? What's another note? I actually only have 2 notes here. The next note, the last note, in regards to the little points for the Leo full moon that I have here on my paper is positivity. So I mentioned that Leo is associated with sun energy, and when I think of sun energy, I think of solar plexus energy. And so I talked about self-expression, but there's also just this your particular energy, your energy of self, your sense of self over the next couple of weeks is going to be getting a little bit of a refresh. And although it's not a full moon, what's going to be happening is things are going to be clearing out. You're going to be releasing probably habits. You might be wrapping certain things up. A lot of you may be thinking about starting new plans, new diets, new routines, whatever it might be, in a couple of weeks or in a certain amount of time. And during this time, you may be taking moments and energy to prepare yourself for these things and these plans that you like to see play out. As far as that positivity is concerned, this is a full moon. So we're also talking about release. And because the full moon is bringing in positive Leo energy, what is going to be happening here for us is whatever's weighing heavy on our hearts, weighing heavy on our souls, and especially what's stopping us from keeping our solar plexus popping, these things are going to start to dissipate, or they may actually start to arise and surface over the next couple of weeks, and maybe closer, closer to the shadow or on the actual day of the full moon, just depending on what you've got going on in your chart and where this full moon is passing over your particular chart. And you can find that out on Google. Just Google natal chart transits, and it's going to ask you to plug in your information and plug in the dates that you want to look at. And then most sites will give you little blurbs. There's also hella apps that will do that for you too. So if you're interested in seeing how this full moon, or getting some insight into how this full moon will actually affect you or where it's going to hit your life, you can look up your chart and your transits, okay? But with that being said, gonna be releasing things, stopping us from feeling good, stopping us from being happy, moving away from the density that is and was 2020. We're still in a crazy time. We're still in a pandemic. We still got a lot of wild shit going on, but we are on an individual level. It's almost like, and I can attest to this, and I can give you guys the true account, because when we're talking about Leo does not like to sit still. Leo likes to, rewind. Leo is the lion. Sometimes they could be a little lazy when they're on their shadow side, but when Leos are operating in their light aspects, the Leos are always moving and shaking and making things happen. And they don't like to be confined. They don't like to be told, you have to sit at home, you have to sit still, you can't do this, you can't do that. Leo wants to do what they want to do, right? So we're in this space to where we're all like, hey, last year was some shit. And as long as you're still being safe, and doing what you got to do, and, protecting yourself and protecting everybody else as much as you can, there is this energy of, okay, well, I don't like whatever that was, and I want to bring some better energy in. This is stale, this is stagnant. I want to move out of this. And so over the next couple of weeks, a lot of us, like I said, will be popping into new routines or planning new routines, planning different ways to move energy and move out dense energy and clear our energy and release things that no longer serve us, so that once we come into this new lunar cycle, once we wrap up the winter season and move into the spring season, we're in the space where we can positively manifest these plans and these intentions that we are starting to pick up on during the next couple of weeks. There are a couple of aspects happening with this moon that will lend to the energies that we will have swirling around us over the next couple of weeks. The full moon will be square to Mars, okay? Anybody that knows a little bit more about astrology is probably like, oh gosh. So with that being said, Mars is the planet of our instinct. It's the planet of our, our carnal desires. It's the planet of, the way that we make moves and the things that we want tangibly and physically, right? So with the full moon and the moon being this planet of emotion, what we're going to be dealing with for the next couple of weeks is feeling really driven towards our passions and pulled towards wanting to put energy into passion projects and really focusing on and giving thought to, like I keep saying throughout this whole video, the type of life that we want to be living. What does our poppin' Leo life look like? And that's what we're going to be focusing on during these next couple of weeks. With that square aspect, there is the tendency to become aggressive, especially when you start to feel like you're getting close to your goal, or you start to feel like opportunities are being handed to you, or you start to feel like, okay, what I'm saying I want or what I'm asking for is actually not being presented to me, so now I'm pissed and I want it. There is the tendency to slide into that energy. What I will say, and I have been feeling this energy myself, and I don't think, you know what? No. Is this moon passing over I have a feeling that this moon is very close to or passing over one of my career houses. Keep in mind that we are going into a Mercury retrograde, and this is also a full moon. There, on both of those sides, there is also the tendency of being impulsive, mixed in with the square to Mars. Just be very careful. I suggest triple check everything before you send it out, before you put it up. And I also suggest clarifying your communications, the verbal communications, okay? And then also just thinking about any major moves that you might be making. I would not do anything big right now in regards to like career, relationships, finances, or like moving or traveling or things like that. I would keep it cute for a little bit and maybe pick up in the springtime. Okay, just keep it cute for right now. Even though this is not a keep it cute year, just while you can, do that. This full moon will also be opposite Jupiter, and I'm kind of, this one's okay. Typically when we hear about squares and oppositions, they're not necessarily very positive aspects, but with this full moon being opposite Jupiter in Aquarius, there is this energy of feeling social, more positive energy, and feeling a lot more happy and wanting to do things that make us happy and wanting to mix and mingle. But keep in mind that we are still in a panoramic, so mix and mingle from your houses over the phone and over the internet, okay? Unless you have to mix and mingle with the general public or with other folks. There's also this energy of really having the courage with that Leo fire behind you, to take the risks towards these passions and these passion projects that I was talking about. But remember to double check and triple check things. So while you're dealing with this full moon, as you're clearing things out, I say do so with the intention to clear out in order to prepare. So as you're putting out these intentions, put out the intention that, hey, I'm not going to start building on this right now because retrograde and full moon and winter season and all of the energy just points to don't start nothing new right now. But I do want to put the intention out there that once I'm in a space to really build upon this, that I still have the courage to take the risks and to reach out for the opportunities and to network in the ways that I need to do so. Keep that Leo, kind of put that Leo energy in your pocket for when it's really time to get things popping, okay? This moon is happening in 9 degrees. 9 is a very, very highly vibrational number. It's a highly spiritual number as well. I consider 9 the number of ascension. It's also a number associated with closing chapters. I talked about briefly, moving away from 2020 and all of that energy and all of that craziness and all of that wildness, and moving into a more positive space and moving into alignment with what our poppin' Leo livelihood looks like, okay? So with this 9 energy, understand that the things that you're feeling pulled to wrap up right now, they actually need to be wrapped up, because they are not going to serve you when your intentions that you're going to start putting into play after we wrap up the Capricorn lunar season, and we wrap up the Leo full moon energy, and we wrap up the Mercury retrograde, right? Looking at things that are going to be coming into play and going to be physically manifesting for us. And more than likely, this will be happening around the summertime. Things that we put our energy into typically around, the full moon or the new moon, they start to come back around at the next full moon or new moon. So during the summertime, closer to the Leo new moon, a lot of these things that we're thinking about, a lot of these goals, that pop in Leo life that we're thinking of, that we really want to be living, we'll start to see it coming into play once we start to hit the summertime and move back into Leo energy. But right now is time to really wrap things up, to really move away from the things that, like I said, no longer serve us, the things that we're no longer in alignment with. Time to close the chapters that we have already read. Just keep the knowledge and keep it trucking, okay? We've got other things coming in for us, other things to work on, other things to focus on right now. This moon is happening on a 7-day. I consider 7 the number of divinity, philosophy, and truth. So we're really clearing out obstacles and clearing out space and dropping density and stagnant I don't know, fuzz. I don't know what that was floating, but it was floating. Every time I see floaty, I think of that Family Guy episode. But anyways, really clearing out obstacles and breaking things down and clearing this stuff out so that we have space to really put ourselves in alignment with what is written for us and what we've written for ourselves. I believe that before we come into this physical life, that we kind of decide the paths that we're going to choose. And that's where we get all these life path numbers and our natal charts and all of these things, and soulmate connections and karmic connections and things of that sort. But this full moon really giving us some insight into what our truth is and what life we're really meant to be living. And there's this energy of be confident about what it is that you really want to happen for you. Like I said, imagine that you're on center stage and that you are putting a show on for the world. What is your show? What is your superstardom? Don't look at it like it's too imaginative, it's too grandiose, it's too big, this is not ever going to happen. The things, no matter how wild you may think it is, think of it with Leo energy. For Leo, it is either go hard or why did you show up? Not even go hard or go home. Like, go hard or don't even come. So with that being said, think about things on a grandiose scale during this time. Think about what your big dreams are, what your big goals are, and start thinking about what you need to move out the way and what you need to wrap up so that you can actually start working towards those big dreams and those big goals. And I'll keep it real. Once things start to play out, when you put that energy out into the universe, when you put that energy out into the world, even if your dream or your goal seems wild, you're still working towards it. So you'll have opportunities and resources pop up to help you provide whatever success and abundance looks like for you in regards to whatever aspect that is actually supposed to play out for you. So go big or lose your invite for the next couple of weeks. Dream big, think big, okay? Very quickly, tell you guys about my rituals, my divination, my spiritual stuff that I do for the Leo full moon. Like, if you watch my channel, you know I keep it very simple. I keep it cute. This is a fire moon, so I'm going to incorporate the fire element into cleansing my stones. I'm actually not going to, I'm not going to. I don't know why. I think I keep coughing because it's so dry. I have my heat on, and I had the space heater going. I don't have no windows open, but it's snowing outside, and it gets cold in here. And so I think I like sucked all the oxygen out of my house to be warm, but you know, breathe or be warm. I'm probably picking be warm. We'll figure out the breathing later. But with that being said, disregard everything that I just said. Going back to my rituals, I like to incorporate the fire element. I'm probably not going to do my cards this time around. I'll probably do those once I hit the new moon. Rejuvenate their energy. And I did a really big cleanse because I am a Cancer and a Capricorn rising. So when I hit those moons, I do really big cleanse rituals for my decks and all of my stones and my space. So for me, I did big stuff at the start and the end of the year, so I'm gonna keep it a little bit more chill during this time. So I'll take a coal, I'll burn it, I'll sprinkle some of my smudge on it, one of my smudge blends. I sell those on my Etsy shop. You can find those. The link is down in the description box. And I'll pass my stones through it. I will release the energy that my stones have absorbed by way of working with me, or by way of me carrying them around, or by way of me wearing them. Release those energies into the universe to be transmuted into positive energy, because energy does not die, and you don't just want to release stagnant energy, and because stagnant energy, when you release it, it's just going to be there. So, you know, do something with it. And I ask that my stones charge and, you know, super cleanse underneath the full moon in Leo. As far as my intentions go, I don't write my full moon intentions in a notebook. I usually write it on a piece of paper or like a note card. I don't have any orange index cards, so I'll probably I have an orange pen. Actually, I color code a lot of things, so I know I have an orange pen, or at least an orange color pencil. And if that doesn't do it, I know I have hella orange highlighters. I associate Leo with orange. Leo has other colors, but I'm going with orange for this one. Me personally, I'm probably feeling I need to do some sacral chakra work. You can also throw in some yellow, because as I mentioned earlier, I associate Leo with solar plexus energy. So I'll write my intentions, and I'll start my intentions with I release, I no longer, I stop, I don't need, I let go, and things in regards to that Leo energy that I was talking about earlier, things that are keeping me from living my best poppin' Leo livelihood type of life, okay? And with using the fire element, I will read my intentions aloud, and then I will burn them with the fire and ask that they carry along and manifest with, you know, a little bit of extra oomph by way of this Leo full moon energy. When I do these rituals, it's all about intention. People have this misconception that, you know, we're sitting in our houses and, you know, cracking eggs and sprinkling salt everywhere and like dancing and shouting to the heavens. And depending on what it is that you're doing, it might call for a different type of sacrifice, so to speak. And I'll be putting up some videos talking about divination and rituals probably over the next month or at some point during this year. I've got a lot of new different type of videos going up on my channel, but you know, when it comes to these full moons, it's very simple. You do not have to do a lot. Everything is all about intention. I literally told you guys the most thing that I'm really doing is writing something out and burning some coal and sprinkling some things. Everything other than that has to do with things that I am intending and putting out into the universe and asking spirit to help manifest and carry along. Okay, so you don't have to get too extravagant, especially if you feel like you don't have the resources. Trust me, you do. If you don't have no smudge or no Palo Santo or no sage, you don't have to burn your stones. You don't have to burn your stones. You don't have to, what am I trying to say? You don't have to smudge your stones. You can visualize your stones being cleaned, or your jewelry pieces. You can visualize them being cleansed and the energy being released from them. You can run them underwater, so long as you don't run them or sit them in water, because certain stones will dissolve. Some certain stones aren't hard enough to sit in water. You know, it's all about intention. It's all about speaking things into existence. Our words and our thoughts are very powerful. So keep that in mind when you're putting these things out there, and just keep in mind that Leo is big body energy. So whatever it is that you're trying to intend and whatever it is that you want to see play out, I would think about it and then write your intentions in regards to what you need to get rid of and what you need to release in order to have those things happen for you. Okay. Full moon is really just a time for us to get clear on the life that we want to live and and the process that it's going to take for us to get there, and the actions that we'll need to take. Okay, I said all that, so that's the summary for the full moon. That is all I have for you guys. There are hella videos that you guys should check out, and I do have them linked down below. We are going into February after this, so check out the February pick a card spread and the February tarot forecast. I also have 2021 tarot readings for all of the signs. If you're interested in booking your own personal reading, you can do so. I have a link to those readings linked down below. Or down below. I said link twice in that sentence. What other videos do I want you guys to watch? Oh, I talked about this a lot in this video. Mercury retrograde video will be going up probably tomorrow or within the next couple of days. I also offer a Mercury retrograde reading through my Etsy shop as well. So if you worried about being lost and tossed in the sauce, you can book a reading with me and I can provide you with some insight on how to make it through the next crazy month, okay? What else? As we're still at the beginning of the year, I did put up a 2020 pick a card reflection spread. Go on and check that out. And there's also a 2020's decade pick a card spread. And that is timeless for this 10-year period. So at any point when you go in there and look at that, those messages are for you at that point in time, okay? That was hella videos because I got hella videos for y'all to watch. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch y'all next time. Peace.